Hello there. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. I've got no crew with me, no one helping me, it's just me on my own, and I'm going to do an unboxing video. It's something that a few of you have sent me emails and asked me to try, so I thought I'd give it a go. I'm a little bit nervous as to how it's going to go. I've never done anything like this before. It's not scripted. There'll be a lot of cuts and a lot of edits, which is how everyone seems to do it. So I'm just going to get on with it. To show you that there's no one here with me, and to let you know where I'm stood, and it's actually quite beautiful. I've got another camera, and if I turn this on and put that into the right mode, I can film you. Look, here we go. See, there we are. And if I pan round a bit, you can see the vehicle, and you can see the fields and the trees beyond over there. Going round, you can see it's a cloudy day right round to the trailers. So it's just me and you, no script, and something very nice in the box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pictures as I go along and cut those into the film so you can get some close-up views. The camera's going to stay right where it is. So here we go. What have we got? It's something that we've collected. I know what's inside it because there's a dirty great big label on it just there, and I am quite looking forward to having a go with it. It's the Beretta CX4 Storm. I think that's a 4. It's a Beretta CX4 Storm, and I've seen these on YouTube. I've seen these, I've seen people having a go with these, but I've never actually had a go myself, and I am quite looking forward to it. But we're just going to unbox it today, and we're going to test it out a little bit later on. The first thing I realised straight away is that on top of the box there's a cable tie. I'm going to the vehicle to get a pair of snips. Pair of snips. So I'm going to take the cable tie off. There we go. Now I'm not going to chuck that on the floor because there's cattle around. Now these are brought into the UK by Umarex, and they actually come through Umarex, which are up in Birmingham, and they're the people that have let us try one of these out. Umarex do great things with pistols, airsoft stuff, lots of things that you can imagine. So I'm hoping this is going to be quite good. It's tagged as Beretta, so it has to be pretty good, reasonable build quality. But let's open the box and have a look. I have to tell you also that there's a footpath just over there, and there are some people stood looking at me. Yes, who's that strange person with that black box? That's fine. There's also a couple of badger sets over there, so we've got to be reasonably careful. Don't mention the badgers, Giles. We're in Somerset. Badgers, not a good idea. They've just announced the cull, haven't they? Causing lots of problems. Now, I'm not going to get involved as to whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a badger cull. Whether it's going to happen, I've no idea. But there are badger sets over there, and I know the farm does have to put up with them. The most scary thing, and I will open the box in a second, is the fact that you might have someone like Brian May who will come around and wave his big grey fuzzy hair at you. That's the most scary thing to me. I've always thought, since I've seen him on television, he could do a really big deal with Just for Men. Right, shut up, Giles, get on with it. The Beretta CX4 Storm. Here we go, let's have a look. Wow, right. So what have we got there then? What can I see? If I lift that up a little bit for you, I can see it's an 88 gram cartridge. I think I'll grab them before they blow away. Let's just take the paperwork, because being Somerset and close to the Severn Estuary, it is quite windy. So what can we see? I can see an 88 gram CO2 cartridge. I can see something else, which I don't know what that is. It's something that looks a bit like a silencer or a moderator. I guess that's a scope at the top, and then there's a magazine. And I think it's a 30 shot magazine, and it looks well packaged. And then we've got the gun in the middle, which looks very nice and exciting. So let's go ahead and take that out. I'm just going to put those under the snips. The instructions are a major form of anything that you buy nowadays, but I'm male and probably don't need them, which is not strictly true. I'm sure I should be having a look in a minute when I figure out just what some of this is. Here we go. Right, where do we start? Let's go here. Beretta CO2 capsule. 88 gram or 80, is it 80 gram? 88 gram, I am right. 3.1 ounces CO2. It's pressurized cylinder. I guess, honestly, you guys have probably seen one of those, and it's going to slot in the rifle, and my best guess is it's going to go in the end of the shoulder pad there. But that's that, so let's put that just over there for a minute. We've got that. Next, well, the thing that isn't packaged is the magazine. Right, okay. What can you say about that? Looks pretty simple. I think, if I'm right and led to believe, it's a 30 shot system. I'm going to put this down on the top and actually take a picture of it for you. No, I ain't no David Bailey. All right, no flash. No clever lights, it's just me. Here we go, smile for the camera. There we are, right, that'll do. So, we've got a 30 shot magazine. Not too sure which way around it goes in yet. I think you can probably see from the picture that, and I'll do another one side on, it is quite deep. Certainly a lot longer than your average airgun pellet. But I wonder if that's to sort of account for all the different size of pellets you can get. It's also on sort of like a rotary system, so it does spin quite freely. Yeah. This is semi-auto, so it's going to just keep firing as long as you pull the trigger. So I guess that if the canister is going to do all the work in there, because there's nothing else that goes in, that's got to be pretty slick, because you don't want to be losing too much power off this on that. You want to put it all into the pellet and the gun. So there we go. So that's the magazine. It's just made of plastic, got a couple of screws in it, belt driven. There we go. Put those over there. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, it looks like a handle of some sort. Packaging, don't you love it? Our house is full of it. Now I've got a little 5-year-old girl, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to put that in my pocket because that's just going to blow off down there in a minute. I got a little 5-year-old girl, and it's her birthday next week. And I know that we're going to buy piles of toys, as everyone does for their children. And when she comes down on her birthday morning, it's going to be up like this, and it's going to be stacked up like that. By the time she's taken all the packaging out, ripped everything apart and thrown it away, she's going to be left with a little pile like that in the middle of the room, and I'm going to be left with a trip to the tip. Anyway, gun. Right. I'm not going for the instruction booklet yet. Now I guess that that has got a rail attachment on the top there. So that's going to clip onto one of the rails somewhere. And I'm looking that that's a pair of feet, but I'm going to take a picture for you, just so you can see how it comes out the box. There we go. And then we're going to have a fiddle. I'm an old man with possibly an even weaker heart. Right, okay, I pressed that button at the top there, just there, and those legs popped out after I undid that. So, yeah, can we guess what that is? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really very good with words. Would that be a bipod or a tripod? I'm sure you'll soon tell me. Bipod or tripod, it's a thing with legs, and I guess that that is going to go on the very front of the rifle, which is very nice. And does that go back together easily, or is that a permanent thing? Let's try that. Hey, look at that. That's quite good, that is. I like that. I suppose it doesn't fit when it's in the box though. You'd have to take it off. But I suppose it means you could turn that into a handle, carrying handle. You don't have to have the legs out. And I guess probably because there's rails on the side and the bottom of the gun from that I can see, you could probably have it side on or on the bottom. Okay, so let's just do that again. So unscrew that, I guess. Press this spring button here. What did I do wrong there then? Whoops. Right. Slightly embarrassing. I don't think you want to undo that bit at the bottom. But hey, it's there and it's loose and it's very easily undone. So I think probably the fact that that comes out like that so well, even though I did do it a bit unsurprisingly, I guess that because that does that, you can actually completely take those feet away and just have that as a handle, which actually is quite a good idea, because you would walk around with that sticking out the bottom. But yes, let's do that again. There we go. That's what it's there for. That obviously catches the spring-loaded mechanism, but if you take that off, you can take those feet out, and then you've got just a standard handle. Okay, so that's been well thought of. Put that over there. Made me jump, that did. Right, here we go. What else have we got? Okay, silencer moderator. Can spot one of those from a mile off. Let's put that in my pocket. Okay, we've got 2 screws on there. Looking down inside, it looks like it's got sort of your standard hairbrush roller in there. Doesn't look like anything overly amazing inside, but I think it'll probably help out with the noise. And it's very nicely built, very nice and firm, nice and solid. I'll take a little picture for you. There we are. What else have we got? Right, there's this one here. Now, I am told that this comes with a scope, so I naturally assume that this is going to be the scope in here. Ooh, very nice. Okay, so we've got instructions, basic instructions on how to adjust windage and elevation and that sort of thing. I'm going to put those over here again. We don't want to lose those. And I'll take you a picture. So what have we got here? Okay, well, it's stamped Beretta all over it. Obviously it comes with your nice covers. Beretta 4x32 tri-tac. Sort of a solid one-piece mount. All looks very sturdy, and it's got loads of rails all over it as well, so you could just put more toys on there, which is very nice. And I guess there doesn't seem to be any focusing on there. And you've got your windage, yeah, if you can hear that. There's no lockdown screws or anything like that. It's adjustable every single time. And you've got 2 screws for mounting it onto the rifle. Yeah. I'll take you one more. There we go. That's that. So you've got the scope. Does look very nice. I have to say I'm bringing that back because that is very different. With all those rails all over the top and the sides. And it is literally one solid piece. Yeah. I do like that. That's quite a good idea. I would imagine probably you get that on, well, I don't know, but I'm just wondering whether you get that on real tactical rifles, that sort of thing. I just don't know. I'm learning. Now, what else is left? Well, there is a little bag in here. Silica gel. There's the little bag in here, and in here you have got a sticker that says Control 2, don't know what that means. 2 small Allen keys. I would guess that they are going to be maybe for adjusting underneath here, tightening things up. And you also got sort of like a black pencil thing. Quick picture for you. Okay, so I think we know what, Allen keys are fairly basic for adjusting stuff. I can notice as I look at the rifle here, all the way down the side before I take it out of the box, that these are basic Allen keys. I don't see anything in here to do this. They are star screws, so they're obviously safety screws. So you're not going to be able to just get at it with your Phillips. It's obviously designed not to be taken apart, as with most airguns nowadays. I'm intrigued as to what this little black thing is. Bag, pocket, wind gone. Here we go. Now I'll tell you what, I've got really tatty, horrible fingers, and I can never open these little bags. Okay, so I'm interested. I'm going to put that in my pocket, purely and simply because of the wind, in the pencil thing. See that? I'll take you a picture. Because I have no idea what that is. It's got an ever such a slight point on the end. I'm wondering whether what that is for, and I will look at the instruction manual and confirm it in a minute, but I'm doing what we all do. I'm wondering whether that is to push the pellets into the magazine. There we go, which is a bit odd, but there we go. The rifle looks good, so I'm going to put that in there because that looks like quite a vital bit, and I don't want to lose that. Now, the gun. I'm now going to do the bit that I've wanted to do since I opened the box. I'm going to take the gun out, and it does look very nice. Very, very nice. Now I'll tell you what, years ago, is another little story I like rabbiting on. Years ago, I used to get taken as a child to Long Lartin, not Long Lartin because that's a prison, Long Marston Airfield. We used to drive past Long Lartin on the way there, but that's a high security prison and you don't want to go in there. We used to go to Long Marston Airfield, and you might know it more now as I think it's Santa Pod Raceway. I think it's Santa Pod, it's Santa something, and it's outside of Stratford up in Warwickshire. And we used to go there because I'm originally from the Cotswolds. We used to go there most Sunday mornings, And I'm talking sort of 20, 25 years ago now. And it was back in the days when you could go to your car boot sale, and if you had an old air rifle, you could sell it, or your old gap pistol or your air pistol or something like that. And that's where I first got my air rifles as a small child. We used to go along with my dad and my sister, and we'd go and we would be allowed sometimes to buy an air rifle. I originally very first had a GAT gun, if you remember those. They fire the corks, or you could unscrew the thing at the back and put the pellet in. Not very accurate, but you could get the hang of it after a while. So I started shooting those when I was a small boy. And the thing was, we lived out in the country, so you could actually go walking around with the air rifle and your mates, no problem at all. I went around the fields for hours and hours over the school holidays. We would shoot apples off trees, we would shoot possibly birdies, we would shoot all sorts of things. And the farmers didn't seem to mind, and we seemed to wander around. And you know what? Seeing a gang of 4 or 5 lads walking around with a couple of air rifles never seemed to cause a problem. And the reason we were out there doing that is because we didn't have computer games. And I know that a lot of people in this day and age say that computer games are a big problem. They make people insular, they make people sit in front of the screen and not socialise. And I think in some ways, and it might seem a little bit mad, and a lot of people call me ever so slightly mad sometimes, that something like this could actually encourage them out of the armchair or out of their bedrooms. And I'll tell you why, because years ago obviously I used to shoot standard air rifles, the wooden stock rifles, all sorts of makes. I really can't remember what I used to have, but I used to go out because that's what we used to do. We didn't have anything else to do. The kids nowadays think that everything is Call of Duty, and they expect a gun to look like that. And do you know what? Something like that could actually attract them outside to have a bit of fun, get a bit of fresh air, and spend some time with their family. And I'm going for girls as well, for boys. That is really, I think, going to encourage a lot of people to actually have a go with air rifles, because it does look so different to your normal thing. I'm not saying that this is going to give you a 2 centimetre group at 30 metres. It's not going to do that. This is aimed, I think, at the fun side of the market. The side of the market that wants to go out, do some tins, do some bangs, do some balloons, do some general plinking, and do it and actually have a really good time. And I know I'm rabbiting on again, but I really like that. And I like that for those reasons, not for the fact that it's going to be used at a HFT competition or anything like that. I like it because it could encourage people in years to come in the sport. They could turn around and say, do you know what? That's brilliant, that's great. And I can hit that Coke can and that's fantastic. But I've never been able to hit that really small spinner over there at 30 metres. And I'd really like to be able to do that. And that's when you take them along and get them something a little bit more advanced. Am I being on a bit of a moral high stand there? Possibly. But I'm also looking at it honestly. This is something, like I say, I've got a little girl, she's 5, coming up 6. I would probably start her on something a little bit smaller, but she does want to know why Daddy does guns, why Daddy does videos, and she does see the stuff that I have. And I would start her on something like this because there's a fun aspect to it. Make the cans dance. There we go. Anyway, back to the gun. Quiet now, Giles, you're annoying everyone over there and your cup of teas are getting cold. Back to the gun. What do I think? Well, I'll take a little picky for you, if I can. Let's see how I'm going to do this. I'll do it like that. I'll stand it just outside the box. Well, it's lovely. It's weighty. I couldn't tell you what the weight is stood here. Let's try and do one just a little bit. I can tell you that it is obviously made of plastic. There is a plasticky feel to it. You can hear it. Okay, but it feels very solid. So it's not a flimsy sort of plastic, and it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart in your hand. It actually feels like it really could take some pretty serious knocks. It's very well styled. It's very well balanced actually. If you think I'm holding that just there like that, I've really got very little grip on it. And it doesn't wobble about, it's right in the middle there. And that is very, very nice. It's got a rubberized butt pad. It's got the barrel on the end. It's got rails on top, on the side, and on the bottom, so you can add all your toys. And I guess that means you can add things like the bipod or tripod on there as well. Safety catch there, which is nicely marked. You can see the red popping in and out. Okay, there is a side lever on that side. Right, let's put the other bits on the gun and see what happens. The only thing I'm not going to do is put the gas in it, because we're not actually going to film the shooting of it today. That's going to be in a later video. So let's have a quick look first where the gas goes while we haven't got all the stuff attached to it. Now, my guess would be, without looking at the instruction manual, because I'm reasonably sensible, is that it's going to go in the back here, probably in the shoulder pad. So let's have a look. We'll pop these here. Yeah, see that? I'll do that again for you. There's 2 pressure pads there either side. Okay, that doesn't do anything, that's just a fixed part. 2 pressure pads, so you put your finger on, give it a squeeze, there we go, and we're off. Put that down, have a look there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so right inside there, it's not loaded, right inside there is a thread, and I guess what you would do is take your canister, put that in, spin, yeah, and then when you hear that and it's gone, then you've got your canister in. Okay, so that's very nice. It's going to add a little bit of weight at the back, but that's very nice. There we go, put that back on the right way up. I apologise if when this comes out all you can hear is wind. It is very windy. Then, what should we do? We'll put this on the front, shall we? So we'll undo that thread there. Nice bolt there. That pops on over the top. I'm learning. The whole world's a learning experience. Right, we'll do that up a little bit. There we go. And I guess that's going to stand up then. Look at that. That's quite nice. Should we have another picture of that? Yes. Put these on the website as well. See? There we are. Happy days. Right. So, we've got that on the bipod or tripod, whatever you want to call it. Something I would note with that though is that obviously it's only one height. It's not adjustable. So when the feet spit out like that, you have got it at only one height. That part isn't going to be adjustable, which, to be honest with you, I mean you should be fine. Yeah, I mean what do you expect? It's very nice, very sturdy. I'll tell you, I know I keep going on about the wind, and I do apologise. You can see my hood blowing now. It is blowing very well, and that is stood rock solid. So that's very nice. That's going nowhere. So it's not like it's going to flop over or anything like that. So you can get up and move from the table and bits and pieces. That is really, really good. Let's put the scope on. And scopes always used to make me very excited as a child. When we walked around, we all shot open sights and springers. There was none of the PCP things around in my time. And if someone turned up on the day with a scope, they were the daddy, I'm telling you. Because it meant that they could hit things that we couldn't. And actually, if I'm honest with you, after about half an hour, they used to really annoy us. And we used to try and walk off or lose them in the long grass, or, I don't know, fall out with them or accuse them of something or other, some sort of bitchiness. But scopes, we like scopes. Okay, now, I would guess, yeah, nice and clear, we're going to go this way around. And I'm just going to put it down. I'm not going to start trying to get too much eye relief in the right position. Here we go. Put that on. Whoa! That's actually really quite clear. Yeah, that is amazingly clear. That's very good. 4x32. There is no, from what I can see, there is no adjustment on that scope at all. But that is very, very clear. It's picking up those bushes over there, which are probably, I don't know, 40 meters away, really nice and clearly. Okay, so there we go. So the scope is on. Simple as. Very, very quick, very, very simple. Then what have we got? We've got the silencer, or the moderator. So let's put this on here. There is a little bit of a lip on the end of the barrel. So I'm going to go ever so gently. Okay. That is a bit on the stiff side. Now if you give it a little bit of a rotate, and we're on. Give it a twist. This looks rude. I know. There we are. I'm sure someone will put a comment on. I don't know how many minutes we're into. 11:52. Laugh out loud. Giles is doing something with the end of the gun. Anyway, let's find that Allen key, which I put in my pocket. The only thing is that in my pocket there are a lot of wires. There's a chocolate bar wrapper in there as well. I have no idea what that's doing in there. I think my daughter must have stuffed that in my trousers last night when she was hiding that from my wife. That's nothing to do with me at all. Here we go. Big pockets. Problem is they're so full of junk. But I like my shorts. They're my favourite shorts. Everyone keeps trying to get me to change them. People keep giving me stuff to wear. Look, I'm fat. Things don't fit me. When you send me clothes, and when people go out and buy me clothes, or people send me things for my birthday, remember, I'm fat. I've got big shoulders. Buying me a medium t-shirt is just going to make me look like the Mr. Stay Puft man off Ghostbusters. I look ridiculous. Don't buy me clothes. Don't buy me shoes either. I'm size 13 feet. Oh, do you like your top I bought you for your birthday? Oh, you've come to visit us. Where's your top? We like your top. We spent ages picking your top. Yes, but my size is a double XL and you bought me a medium. Can I have the receipt so I can take it back? Don't you like it? Don't you like your top? No, I don't like my top. And I am chatting away again, and I'm very sorry because I'm trying the hardest I possibly can to get those Allen keys out of the bag. That is in no way a black mark against Umarex or Beretta, the fact that I can't open the bag and find it in my pocket. So we're going to go with the smaller of the Allen keys, because that is what is on the underside of here. And I'm just going to tighten that up a little bit. But I'm not going to over tighten it, because we don't want to over tighten it. There we are. That's it. Put it back in there. So there we go. That is looking pretty mean. Picture time. Let's take a picture. There we go. That's a nice picture. Right. Then we've got the magazine. This intrigues me because it really does move very easily, and I guess I'm going to look at the bottom of the rifle and it's going to go in there. And I mean, logic says it's just going to slide in. There we go. And it looks like that's in. There's a small gap at the bottom, but it looks fine. And I guess there's buttons on the side for releasing it as well. There we are. That's quite good because the buttons are actually on both sides in the same place. So obviously it's ambidextrous. Talk about the ambidextrous thing. It is completely ambidextrous. So whether you're a left-handed shooter or a right-handed shooter, the only thing I would say is that the bolt is on the right side and the blowback action is on the left-hand side, but that's not going to make any difference to you at all. The stock is completely ambidextrous. It's exactly the same both sides. The trigger housing and the grip and everything is exactly the same. So if you've got a young person that is left-handed or right-handed, do you know what? They can all have a go because it's going to do exactly the same thing for them. You haven't got to make any adjustments or anything like that. That is good. We like that. So there we are. I think we're all set up. Like I say, I haven't put the gas in, and I'm deliberately not going to put the gas in purely and simply because I don't want to waste the canister, and because we're not going to film shooting this today. We're going to film it in the next couple of weeks. But I think that is going to be an awful lot of fun. I am not expecting groups at 30 meters. I'm expecting to, in my speak, say, have a blast. There we are, guys. I've actually really quite enjoyed doing this. I don't know whether I'm any good at it. I don't know whether you're going to like it. You might like it, you might dislike it, you might watch it, you may not watch it. You may hate it as an experiment. But actually, I've really quite enjoyed it. Yeah. Thank you for watching me, and I really do mean that. I've actually enjoyed it. I really have. I don't want to turn the camera off, which sounds really, really strange. I could chat to you all day long, but I'm going to have to, because I have a different life and I have to carry on, and I have to go and make tea, make the wife happy. Yes, got all sorts of things to do. But thank you very much for watching. If you do like it, please press the like button. Please leave us a comment. Please do subscribe to the video. It is very important to us, and we do know that every time you do subscribe, it is like a win to us. It's fantastic when the email pops through and says someone else has subscribed. We look at most people's channels, even if you're a new user and you've clicked on, we do have a look, and we like to see what you look at, and we do like to interact. Also, to everyone out there that sends us video responses, and people that send us videos and send us comments and bits and pieces, thank you. We do look at most stuff. Some of the funny stuff which we get sent, which really shouldn't be on YouTube anyway, we don't look at, but all the other stuff, all the gun videos you send us, all the little reviews that you've done that you send us, we do watch them. So please keep sending them. We enjoy seeing what you're up to as well. That's it. I'm going to shut up now. Thank you very much for watching. I've got to put all this away. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.